Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today is Hump Day. It is Wednesday, August 24th, 2022. I am Solid Blue Sister, and this is My Turn to Talk. And as always, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Hey, Betty Deb, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are number one today. Hey, Frankie. And Penny Deb's a super fan. Thank you. Oh boy, it's a hot one here. And to anyone joining over on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. GP Man, welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm going to get started. Hey, Power Girl. I am good, GP. I am good. I hope you're doing well also. All right, I'm going to stop it here. And I take it the music is coming through okay today. Hey, Brina. Okay. All right. So today I want to talk about a quote by Confucius. In a country well governed, in a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. But actually, I am going to put this in the chat so you guys can see it. It's not the I did not do the complete quote, so I'm going to put that in there now. And this is by Confucius. All right. So the quote his quote is, in a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. And I want to know, is it true? And why does any society have poor people? Welcome, Bobby. Welcome. So, do you guys think that's true? So again, I put it in the chat, and I will read it again. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. So, just want to know, what do you guys think? And when I was looking at that quote, I saw that quote about 3 weeks ago, and I went back and I read a couple of other things that Confucius said, and I went back and read more into this particular quote. But my question is, again, why does any society have poor people? Because it would seem like if you have a society with rich people, there shouldn't be poor people. I mean, I'm not saying that rich people should automatically take care of poor people, but it just seems that things are just so lopsided. Hello, Stinger. Welcome. It just seems that things are just so lopsided. And there are some people who may say, well, no one has to be poor. You may be, born poor, but that doesn't mean that you have to stay that way. And in fact, one of my friends told me that this morning when I told her what the show was going to be about. And I disagree with her, and we were going back and forth. And she said that, you can always not be poor. And I said, in any situation, I said, I just want to be clear. Are you saying that in any situation? And she said, yes. And I disagree with that. Because I do believe that some people are in situations where no matter how much they try, they are just poor. I mean, they will be poor. Um, Brina, thank you for sharing the show. So, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think that people because I don't think anyone wants to be poor by choice. I don't think anyone wants to be poor. And then again, we can define poor. What is poor? What is rich? To me, poor is someone who is not able to, have a meal every day. They don't have any place to live. Um, they may not have any clothes, and the clothes that they have, um, they need to be replaced. I mean, people who are just really having a hard time. So, why are some people rich? Why are some people poor? And the people that are rich, how did they get that way? When you have some of these people who are quote unquote celebrities, people who make movies and uh, make records. Why are they rich? How did they get that way? Because I would factor in, if it weren't for some poor people, some of these rich people wouldn't be rich. If you're not buying their records or seeing their movies, you may not have that house that you have. You may not have drive those cars. So Stinger says poverty in America is a lot different from other parts of the world. I agree with that to a point. Let's see. And GP Man says, if you're homeless, just buy a house. That's what Generation Z. Okay. Bobby says, I've seen people who live on the streets and have less food to eat, and I think that isn't fair. That is called homeless. Okay. All right. So, you know, GP, to go to your comment about Generation Z, I guess Generation Z can afford it if you just have a great TikTok and you make a couple of thousands a week on TikTok. So I guess you can just buy a house. Rena says this topic is full of good many topics. Yes, it is. Some people are born into money, so struggle is not existent. Some are born without money and use that as a motivation not to live that way. Interesting point, Brina. Interesting point. Huh. Interesting. Everybody is a TikTok star. Not everybody, because I can tell you right now, I am not a TikTok star. Not at all. Um, no, one moment. Okay. Let's see. Brina says, Bobby says to Brina, yes, that is true. I'm an OnlyFans star. I mean, but seriously, and we were talking about it, on a previous show. In fact, I can't remember if it was on this show or if it was on Friendly Differences, where someone says that the new thing now is just, instead of working hard, you just get a GoFundMe, and that pays for everything. So, but again, why are some people rich? Why are some people poor? And can everybody not be in that situation? I mean, if you're born poor, do you have to stay that way? Do you choose to stay that way? And another thing that my friend said to me this morning is that people make bad choices, and that's why they're in that situation. So we were like just going back and forth, whatever. And no, she's never been on the show, but um, I don't know. Let's see. Stinger says, "No, I was born poor. No, I'm still poor, but I have a lot more bills." Okay, no, I'm not still poor. I'm assuming that's what she said. I'm not still poor, but I have a lot. more bills. Bobby says, I think people who are rich, they have a better jobs and earning big money. I think, and Brina says, I think some people are just stronger mentally. They don't fall victim to haters and can be very successful. Okay, but Brina, so would you say that everyone who is poor, they don't have to be? And I'm going to throw in there the same thing I asked my girlfriend this morning. In every situation, so in every situation, if people are poor, do you think that those people, no matter what the situation, no matter who the people are, they're able to get out of that situation? Okay, no, it's not one size fits all. Some can't. Okay, and my next question to everyone. Hey, Mac, welcome. Let's see. GP Man says, in modern America, it should only take one generation to get out of poverty and into the middle class. Okay, so GP, is there a middle class anymore? Because the way I see it is, we're looking at um, uh, rich and poor. Rich and poor. Is there a middle class? And to me, the middle class is more headed towards the poor house as opposed to the rich house. Let's see. Senior says, no, the government and inflation want everyone to depend on them. But okay, Stinger, you have a point, but government and inflation has been around for years. I mean, we go through these cycles where there's inflation. I mean, the government is here. So are you saying that if no one depended on the government, would people be better off? Okay, and GP Man says, yes, there is a middle class. Okay, GP, would you say the middle class is the same as it was 20 years ago? Because the middle class that I grew up in and the middle class that is now is completely different. The middle class is more like I said, more poor than, you know, Stinger says, this is how to control society and make America into communist countries. Okay, you're going into the whole political thing here, Stinger. I'm just asking, if people do not depend on the government, would they be better off? And Brina says, I used to consider myself middle class. I'm more like working poor now. And see, Brina, and that's what I'm saying. I think that the middle class is the working poor. Before the middle class, you had you know if you were lucky, you had the two cars, you had the television, you had the house. Your kids were able to go to summer camp and do all these things. You made your salary was the same. It caught up, or it was level with uh, cost of living. But in the last 20 years or so, that everyone does who was middle class does seem to be the working poor. So GP, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think that the middle class is the working poor, or do you still believe that there is a middle class? Because then my question is going to be, is there a poor, a working poor, middle class, and then rich, or comfortable and then rich? I hate when my chat jumps. Okay, there are more levels now. Okay, and Bobby says I don't think there is a middle class, um, including super rich. Okay, how are you defining poor, and are you talking poverty globally? Okay, DMAX. So before you came on, I define poor as, people who, had a hard time eating, didn't have a place to live, or even if you do have a place to live, it's not that great. Um, you know, um, uh, people who, you know, wearing the same clothes day in, day out, or if they're lucky, they have another outfit, you know, just, and then and someone said, who was it that said that, GP, was it you who said, okay, no, Stinger said poverty in America is different from other parts of the world. I agree with that, but are we getting to the point where, poverty in America could be the same as it is in some of these other places? Because, I mean, come on, you hear, and all you got to do is just, you know, Google trying to find a place to live, and in LA, New York, in Atlanta, a lot of these places, the rent is like $4,000 a month for a one bedroom. So again, if if and again, I'm just going by what my friend said. I just texted her and told her to jump on the show again. She's never been on the show, but we go back and forth a lot. She says that, people don't have to be poor. Okay, so you tell me how you're going to live or rent. You have to find a place to live, and an apartment, a one bedroom, is 4,000 a month. And you can say, okay, you can downsize, but we're already in a 900 square foot, place. So again, what's Asha's in your title? Oh, no, 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 no. You have to, no, my entire thing, Bob, was, how popping it only lets you say so much. It says, in a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. And it was a Confucius quote. So, and I'm going to put this in again, so everyone knows what his total quote was, because I only put in part of it. I'll put it in the chat again so you guys will see what I was talking about. Okay. Okay. So again, his Confucius quote was, "In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of." And Stinger says, "Why are those cities so expensive?" Well, those are cities. I mean, you have places like Chicago. I mean, you have all the major cities have always been expensive, but now it's that trickle down where it's getting into the smaller cities and what have you, where things are just expensive. I mean, to me, I don't care where you live, what country you live in, everyone is experiencing some type of rise in prices. And if you own a house or an apartment building or something, um, you may be one of those people. If you're one of those people who are taking advantage of it, I have to say, shame on you. Because then are you going to end up, you're charging people, $4,000 a month rent, $3,000 a month rent for a little cracker box? Is it going to backfire on you? And all of a sudden, those people can't pay the rent, and then you got to go through all this court stuff and whatever to get them out. GB says, if you are struggling, be a bartender on the night shift till you make it. We'll tip you good. Okay. Boss says, oops, my bad. I looked at, okay. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to make the title shorter, but it would have taken away from it. So that's why I copy and pasted the entire thing. So, Let's see. DMAC says U.S. poverty is different than other countries. Folks have no food, no water, nowhere to live at all. DMAC, there are people in the U.S. who have no food, have no water, and have no place to live. Hey, chill, welcome. Stinger says, yeah, because the governments are crooks worldwide. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So, again, yeah, the government, but again, I asked you the question, Stinger, and did you answer me? Because I could have missed it. If people did not rely on the government, okay, if you want to say the government, okay, let's say you don't rely on the government. There are people that don't. Does that mean that you're not going to be poor? Does that mean that you are going to have wealth? And I'm not saying you have to have, the wealth of, of Oprah or Jeff, Bezos or something like that. But are you going to, be comfortable? And you're saying in America that's by choice. Okay, so you're saying that people choose to be poor. And this is what I keep texting my girlfriend, telling her to come on this show, because this is what we were going back and forth on. I don't think anybody chooses to be poor. Yes, you have those people who go on, and yes, they're out there with their sign and everything, and then they get into a Mercedes, and again, I say shame on those people. But you also have those people who have those signs, and at the end of the day, they have nowhere to go. I don't think poverty is by choice, especially again if you have the cost of living is going up and up and up and up and up. What do you do if your landlord is raising your rent? By before, people, your landlord would raise your rent by $25, $50 at the most. Landlords are raising rent by $300, $400. So what do? If you cannot afford that, you're going to say, well, that's by choice. Come on. Jill says, you're fired. Brina says, I think when people are trying to get out of poverty, it takes mental strength and drive. Some people don't possess enough of those things and collapse under pressure. If you can't afford the city you're in, try to change it, or you may have to relocate. Okay, Brina, I would agree with that up to a point. Relocation takes money. So again, you're saving your money. Yes, you're going to move here, you're going to move there and everything. But even when you move into a new place, come on, you got to come up with that security, first and last, or at least if you're not coming up with first and last, you're coming up with security and your first month's rent. And again, with these rents, nowadays, so if you're looking at a place that's renting for $3,000, that's $6,000. So, and guys, I'm playing both sides here, so I'm just pushing back. Okay, D says yes. Folks in U.S. support too. Yes, I'm an immigrant. Americans are spoiled. Yes, they are, but they're also poor. And not all of them are spoiled. There are some people who work extremely hard. Let's see. That's when you allow the government to outsource everything to China. But no one still hasn't answered my question. You're talking about the government. My question is, if you do not rely on the government, does that mean that you are going to have money? And again, I'm not saying wealth, but money. Chill, I am getting you. Let's see. What do you consider poor in today's America? Guys, I've already said that inflation has gone wildly past the average wages of the poor. That's a government failing. Oh, okay, Bob. I will give that one to you to a point. But does that mean that if I have an apartment to rent, I have to rent it for some outrageous amount? I mean, two years ago, this apartment was renting for $1,500 a month. Now, 2 years later, is renting for $3,000. Come on, that would make me gouging people. Let's see, rent up rent has gone up across the board in the U.S. Probably all those stimulus checks, time to pay up America. That damn security deposit, I know, Brina. If you relocated from Cali to Idaho, you would be considered very wealthy, but you still need money to relocate. You still need that money to relocate. Security in Florida is 2 months plus first month's rent. So, okay, so security in Florida, 2 months plus first month's rent. Let's say the rent is $2,000 a month. That's 246. That's $6,000 to move in. The government is my landlord. Hello, all. Hey, Shelby. Okay, chill. I'm sorry it took me a while to get to you, but welcome, welcome.
Hey, what's happening? How y'all doing out there,
Good,
folks?
good.
Hey, Solid. Can I borrow $5 now? I know you got it.
I don't know because I have to pay this high ass rent. So
Oh my gosh, you dramatic. You got it. She definitely got it, y'all. Don't
why
worry
I
about
don't
her.
know why you keep saying that.
She got it. On top of got it. Look. First of all, if you want to relocate, you can relocate. I don't know. Relocation don't cost a whole lot of money.
I let's put it like this.
You can get a
And
loan to reco. You can go to
okay, why
the
you're
cash
gonna get a
point. You know.
loan? You're gonna go get a loan to
I'm just saying, if
relocate?
you want to relocate, you can. If you want to, that's never
and
a
and
problem.
those
Like,
loan
you can leave
places.
that shit at the
Oh, come
house,
on,
at
come
the
on.
regular ass house you got. You
Uh,
can leave that shit. That shit ain't worth. It's to
oh
get the pass
boy.
down couch. You're gonna bring the pass
Oh,
down. Now you might, when you get there, you might not have nothing to live in. You might have to sit on some
some
air
milk crates.
mattresses, for a while. But when you want to move, it don't really cost that much. I mean, and plus
Uh,
people may have not. They got assistance sometimes, depending on how poor you are. And then on top of that, they got
okay, are you
relatives.
talking about Are you
It's
talking
ways to
about?
make things happen if you want to
Okay, chill.
relocate.
So
Typically,
okay,
you
okay.
go
So
somewhere
you
you
are.
know somebody.
So you're going to go into debt to relocate.
No one said nothing about that. I
You
just
just
gave you
said.
80
You just
million
said.
different ways
Hold
you could
on,
do it, and you picked
but
that.
hold on. And I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna pick some more. So you're going to go and take out a loan to relocate. You are
Of
going to go
course.
ask your family members, and they may not have it. So are you saying to relocate does not
I
cost that
mean, you
much
could check.
within the area locally? Or are you
It may
talking
not.
about
It
relocate?
don't necessarily cost that much to relocate. Period. Depending on, you got to sacrifice, but you can say, hey, like if I wanted to go to Florida, I call my uncle and say, hey, I need to stay with you for about a month. All right, I might have to sleep on the couch. Fine. All I need is a bus ticket. Technically, I can leave all this shit here and come back and get it, or put it in storage for a couple of months. I mean, it may cost a couple of dollars, but it ain't. It's not astronomical to move somewhere if you want to move. If you really want to make it happen, right? And then that's just assuming that you ain't got no damn money. You know what I'm saying? Just because you
Okay, all right.
about to move, that don't mean you broke. That don't mean you got no savings. Just because it's a high cost of living, don't mean you can't make rent. You ain't got no good job. You just tired of paying high ass bills. So I just want to leave. So I might take my savings and exhaust it, or maybe not. But there's several ways to skin a cat. So you can't assume that you're gonna go broke
No, no,
doing such.
and you can't assume. Okay, and I can say the same thing that you can't assume that is going to be so easy
Who said it
to
was gonna be easy? Now I never said it was gonna
no,
be easy. I said it was possible,
but you also said
and it don't
that
cost
there.
that much.
Okay, all right. And I just want to read what Boss says because he says, "Solid." It sounds like you're hating on people for doing what they need to. How am I hating on people for doing what they need to? I'm not hating on anybody. And
Mm,
meanwhile, we allow the government to find these loopholes and give themselves houses. I'm not hating on anybody. So if that's what you want to think, go ahead. But I know what I'm doing, and I'm not I'm not hating on anybody. And Brina says, not the air mattress. And Stinger says to Bob, government houses, they just like, wait, government bonuses, I'm sorry, is they just like and never keep their promises. They just lie, okay, and never keep their promises. B says sleep on air until all the air goes out. Oh,
so you get
Stinger
a hole in
says
that
everyone
mattress.
wants to move to Florida. Don't change our state blue. I'm Stinger. I do not want to move to Florida. That is one place I do not want to move. I
Hell
visit.
no. Who said that?
I have that is
Yeah, that's.
that is what
I don't
Stinger
know
said.
who told you that.
I have been to
I would
Florida
never go visit Florida. I
many
want to keep my
times.
house. If I buy a house, I
It's
want
one
to keep my
place,
house.
not in Florida.
Shit. I don't know,
Greyhound.
bro.
No one can beat Greyhound. Mr.
I
B, do they
think
still have
Texas.
Greyhound buses? I haven't seen a Greyhound bus in years.
Yeah, they got them. Oh, sure, they got them.
See,
But
skin the
Texas is
cat.
probably tired of y'all asses.
Okay, chill.
California,
Drop
Florida.
the cat down, sir. Okay, D. I'm sorry. Did you want to come up? So I'm gonna invite you you back. The rent.
Well, hold on. How you
Okay.
interrupt me? I wasn't finished.
Because D was up here and I started talking you interrupted me and then I interrupted you and then you interrupted me, so we're
Oh,
interrupting each other.
okay.
Half of California is moving here.
But would you some? Did you say something about poor people though? Like I feel like it. I, that's the
About poor
subject,
people.
ain't it? That's the subject matter.
And see, this is what happens when you come in. My
I know it's the
subject.
subject. I thought I'm thinking it's the subject. I'm just saying if I'm
The subject
confirming.
is, in a country well governed, poverty is still something to be ashamed of, and that is what Confucius said. But
I mean,
once again,
I don't
I
know
will say
how.
the entire thing. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. So, do you guys think that what Confucius said it is true?
Golly. I think that Confucius. I don't know who the hell. I need to know his last name and his social
Confucius
security number.
is a Chinese.
I know who it is. So,
Okay, go ahead.
golly.
Well, I mean, you said you didn't know, so I'm trying to
I asked for his last name and social security number.
Okay.
But at any rate, so I think it's going to be like classes are necessary in any society. I mean, I don't think unless you in the Garden of Eden, you're going to be able to separate the two because of value systems. You got poor people, of course. Poor people going to be poor. They're happy being poor because they don't give a fuck about making money. They give a fuck about loving people, and they're not interested in that. So they have so if you are money based, yeah, you're gonna be like yeah. But it's apples and oranges, right? Certain society like people who just they're religious and certain things they don't care about material shit. So they're wealthy actually, and you're poor because you're based in the whatever society of. So it's actually in the eye of the beholder on what rich is and poor. I got family, I got this, and we take care of each other. One. And so you rich and lonely, or you rich and with a bunch of conniving people around you. Who's poor, who's rich. So it's always going to be a class when it comes to classes. Different aspects to it. You got to think like some people don't won't care about. They will choose to be poor. That's what you said. Do people choose to be poor? Sure, they do because they don't have the same value system as Jeff Bezos or dickhead senator. So they just have a different value system.
Yes.
So I mean that's just what it is. It's going to be poor people. They definitely choose to be poor, but in their eyes they're not poor. But if you're going by the rules of whatever that is in American capitalism, of course they're poor. But they don't give a damn about that because they got their wife, the kids, the love, their family. So yeah, I think yeah, poor people do choose to be poor. It's just
Okay,
that
and I'm just disagreeing with you. So because I don't think anybody wants to be. I mean, there could be some people who want to be poor, but I think the majority of people. And again, I say I think so. Anybody who wants to jump on my wording, I'm saying I think, the majority of people do not want to be poor. I do want to address what Boss says. He says, I was addressing the comment you made about charging $3,000 a month rent as if they were the wrong ones. Meanwhile, gatekeeping for the government. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if any situation where you are taking advantage of people, I don't care if it's the government doing it, I don't care if it is your next door neighbor, I don't care if you're the only one that has water, and last week you were charging 50 cents a cup, but now you get greedy and you say, well, I'm going to charge $5 a cup. I'm just saying that that's ridiculous. So I'm just saying that there are people that take advantage of a situation, and those people, I'm saying, shame on you. So I'm not.
that's
Again,
not
you
good
you want to
business.
put the government and read stuff into everything that I say, whatever, and the government. I'm not sticking up for the government, whatever. I know that the government has had its hand in a lot of crap, but I do believe that people who purposely take advantage of other people, I'm saying shame on you. And again, I'm not just talking about rent, I'm talking about anything, anything. So
So
I
how
hope.
would you propose a landlord who wants to take advantage of the investment he made 10 to 15 years ago, he wants to get full advantage of it, how would you propose a person do that in which he has availability
Well,
to do such?
what would you? Well, then what I just said, that if you want to, you're just saying how would they propose to take advantage of
No,
it?
how would you propose them to go about doing such?
Well, first of all, I would not say, but you're saying take advantage. I would not say take advantage of anyone. I mean, yes, I understand that people.
Who I said that? No, you use those words.
Okay. You just said that how would I propose to take advantage? That's what you just said. I don't
Well, I
want to
only
take
use it.
advantage of. Well, then
Well,
change
look,
your.
okay. What I'm saying to you is that since you use it, you coined the term. I used it on top of what you were doing. So, have whatever you want to call it is what I'm saying. That how would you propose someone who's invested in a property, who would you're pretty much doing that for, to be able to make money off of it, and maybe it was $1,000 rent, but now everybody around them is up, and so I want to be able to capitalize on that. How would you propose them to go about doing, how whatever you want to call it, take advantage of that person that owns that
That
property? How would you
I
propose them
they
to do
would
it?
they can do it however they want. If for me,
But you just call them names for it. So I want to know how what would you do without
okay,
being that name? How would they
but
be
you
able to do
keep
that?
okay, but you're asking me how can someone make more money off of their property?
No, 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 no.
Okay,
No,
okay,
it's not
okay,
about how. It's they're
okay,
gonna do it.
chill. Okay, chill. Let me make it very clear for you. I
Okay.
own property.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I rent out property. I
Mm-hmm.
have not gouged anybody. Our rents have gone up. It was we go up $25 here, we go up $50 here, just because rent is now, where I live, I can easily charge $5,000 for
Mm-hmm.
rent. I don't do that because that's taking advantage of people. So I'm telling you what I would do. So what other people
Mm.
do, that is what they do. I'm telling you what I do.
No, what
So
I'm
that
at, and what I'm
so
asking you is that how, without being taken, what would be not taking advantage
I
of a
I I
situation
I don't know.
while raising the rent?
It is up to you. It is up to you. However you choose, you're trying to push me into saying how other people should do things. I can only
I
tell you
no, 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 no. I
how
asked
I
you
can
specifically.
and I told you what I do. I do not raise rent where it is ridiculous. I do
Okay,
not
gotcha.
do that.
Roger that. Okay,
I
yeah,
I
I got
don't
it.
I don't charge, and I want 3 months of security, whatever to move in. No, I try to make sure that we have good tenants, which we've been blessed with that we do, whatever, and the rent does go up, but I have never gone up more than $50.
But I'm just thinking like, are they wrong for somebody? Is that really taking a? Is that a bad thing? Because you said in the context as is not a good thing, right?
I am saying that if
Gouging.
I am saying that if you know that, and I understand that people are trying to compete. That if the guy across the street, if he's renting for 4,000 and you're only renting for three, then yeah, you're going to try to possibly get 3,500. I
Mm.
understand that, but I'm just saying, is that necessarily right? That is
Oh,
all I'm
no,
saying.
I get you. No, no, no. Listen, I'm not saying that you're wrong or right. I'm just asking questions in reference to like the other side, because often we do from a different vantage points feel that way, right? But I'm be trying to understand when somebody does something I feel like that's egregious. Are they completely horrible people, or are they just trying to take advantage of their situation like they set out to do? And is that a wrong thing? So that's what I asked myself. It's just it wasn't. It's not even the wrong or right thing. I'm not even passing judgment at all.
And that is why, and I answered you and told you what I would do, but then
Gotcha,
you
gotcha.
asked me
Yeah,
the
I got you.
question again.
Roger that.
So okay, so Boss says, how is this conversation about poverty ended up focusing on tenants doing what they either got to do or have to do over the system set by the government? Because that's just how it went. That's where
Yeah,
the
yeah.
conversation
That's
went.
how I go,
So
boss.
that is
So
how
you
it
know how
goes.
he
So
know how I do.
so
You know how it goes.
he just wanted to make that comment about the government. So um Mr. B, I have defined poor, what my version of poor of poor is. And then that's another thing. What is your version of poor? What is your version of rich? Is rich the same thing as wealthy? I mean, can you be rich and then you're wealthy? You
Hey,
know,
ladies, you could be both with Sweet Willie.
and then and then poor, and then you have working poor. Like Brina said, she thought she was middle class. Now she thinks that she's the working poor. So is there poor and then working poor, and then you guys came back and said that there are different levels. And I think that there are different levels now. I mean, I think that just the way things have gone, just you look back just the last 20 years, it's like things have just changed. You look at, where we were in 1970, and I'm only can refer to America, where we were in America in 1970 and where we were in 1980, things were better, you know, in the 70s in terms of financially and what people can afford. So what is your definition of poor? I mean, my definition of rich is someone who can, go out and they can buy things and do the things that they would like to do, without having to worry. They're able, when that bill comes in for the electric bill, they can just pay it. And Stinger, you are
Steady
right.
pay
Wealth
them
lasts
bills.
for generations. Yes, it does. You know, what is poor? People who that bill comes comes in, and you're going eeny, meeny, miny, mo on what bill should you pay first? What bill will have to wait. But then again, is that the working poor? Because there are poor people who they don't even have to worry about the bill coming in because they don't have a house or some place where they even need to pay the bill.
But don't they choose to
So
be that way though?
uh, some people may, and some people may not. Years ago, I worked in. Let's see. Stinger says, "Yeah, crack did a number in the '80s," and D says to Stinger, "People have always moved to Florida." You still talk about Florida from everywhere, just like they moved to California. Okay. I would consider myself poor if I couldn't afford what I need to survive. I miss when little Debbie's were 25 cents. I remember when Twinkies tasted like Twinkies and Twinkies were 25 cents. Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
remember
can
when
second that motion.
when a candy bar was a nickel. Okay, in the last 3 years, the world has seen the middle
I don't
class being
remember that.
totally wiped out. See, who said that there was no middle class anymore? Is that GP who said that? New York and California are both losing people because it's too expensive to live now. Let's see. I miss now and later's being a nickel. Now and later's. Yep, you remember that banana and strawberry. Yes.
And
See,
everything
God, now
tastes
we're
different.
talking about candy. See, now we're talking about candy. All right. So, I mean, you know, poor and rich. So, are you? So, I'm going to ask everyone this, because I'm trying to cram everything into an hour. Do you see everyone having the potential to be rich? Nope. No. Hey, Pook. Potential for what? To the potential for being rich, and Pook, you're coming in after we just had this back and forth, and Shelby said no. Okay, and I asked that question because some people have said that, and chill, if I don't get it right, make sure you come in and correct me now, that some people choose to be poor. So I want to know is, does everyone have the potential to be rich? Okay. Filet our country immigrants also play choose far. Employers take advantage of being able to pay low wages. No, because we don't live in a true capitalist
One thing,
country. Surely, and Coop says yes, they do. Okay, chill.
one
Go
thing
ahead.
I want to say is that I think I have to be. Sometimes I think about this subject, like when it comes across my mind, and then think about, well, when it comes, like for instance, I was watching Hard Knocks. I don't know if anybody know what Hard Knocks is. An HBO show that goes through like training camp for the football, and
Yep.
Detroit Lions is this year's you know subject matter in their locker room, and so there's a guy from Africa that and he's came over. He's trying to make the team. He's doing well. Um, but what we call poor is nothing. Like he's in heaven, really. He's blessed. Like he's fruit. Like he's awesome because he literally came from a time with no running water. Like he was barefoot and shit like that. So I when we when you say poor, I'd be like, damn. I kind of like cringe when I hate to say that for myself, like, especially when you have the opportunity to go out and do certain things. I do think we do have the opportunity to be rich, but I think that's a fine line because typically the rich, like the purely rich, or like it lacks morals a lot of times to get to that point. It's hard to do it and keep your integrity, and that's the trick. Not to say you can't do it, and not that nobody's perfect, but typically like dirty rich, those people get up billionaire rich. I mean, I probably could be rich as hell right now if I was willing to step on people's toes and just get to the top. Like that's the kind of game you got to play. And if you're not willing to do that, I think that's why most people, like a good majority of people, aren't rich because they're not going. I'm not, giving up my ass or or doing, just selling people under the, just throwing people under the bus or just going out to scheme people or scam people. And I'm not doing all that to get rich, So it may come the hard way. It may take time, and that takes consistency and know-how. Everybody doesn't have that, And so, can you be rich? Yeah, everybody, but it's hard. So, and some people probably can't. Like they may not have the fortitude, mental toughness to do it. So, it
But is
depends.
it?
But I
But is
do
it?
think like a
Is
lot
it
of
for?
people could be.
But is it fortitude or just like you said? I don't want to screw somebody over. Just I don't want to step on somebody's toes just so I can
But I don't want to
have.
make the assumption that every person that owns a business is straight like horrible people. No, 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 no. I'm not. I don't. I've met some great people that own businesses that they just worked hard. They worked their ass off and got a lot of money, and they own businesses. Yeah, and they don't do. It's funny you said that. Like I don't raise house. I own houses. I don't raise rent on people. They have that same mentality, but you can't be Amazon and have that mentality, right? You're not gonna be Microsoft or Steve Jobs and have that mentality. You like, I need to conquer everything. I don't give a damn how much you work. How they just we getting it done. Everybody has to have share their same tenacity to be the best, and it's just that's how it is. And I don't think everybody wants to do that or be that person that you have to be to become
Yeah,
a
but and then
puff daddy.
while you're also doing that, I'm a tie because I want to say what Pook says his choice is go grab that Apple 14 and newest watch or iPad, but chill at the same time while
Mm,
you're being that Jeff or Apple or whatever. How many people not how many people are you stepping on in your personal life? How much are you giving up? Like there's a huge trade
sacrifices,
off.
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, but is it a sacrifice or is it a trade off? Are you trading like I don't care? I haven't seen my kids in a month. I haven't, I'm constantly going here, there, and there, and there. I haven't seen my wife. My mother keeps calling me. I
Hmm.
haven't returned her phone calls.
Hmm.
So is it a sacrifice or is it a trade off when you want to have when you're going after that coin so much that I just want to have this and I have to have more and I want to do this and I want to, like you said, I want to conquer. But what is the trade off?
Mm. And what you said the trade off, and that's the reason why I didn't go. That's why I didn't go into med school because I felt like I had a daughter, and that would be. I hate when people say, you know what, I'm doing it for my kids. Really, really, you're not. And your kids need time, and they need their father, their mom. They need to be raised, right? And so I didn't, and I have 80 hours a week to be doing shit like that. So yeah, it can be considered a trade off, or I mean, it's kind of the same because I do know good people that have great parents that went to the med school, right? And they had a support system. They had a great wife, they had a great grandma, and so they made it through, and everything's all right. But you can't say that just because somebody's willing to set their family in different stratosphere because they know the importance of generational wealth don't care, So you would
Mm-hmm.
say it's a sacrifice, and just because they don't care about necessarily other people, don't mean they don't care about their immediate family. Because a lot of times
Okay,
they will
all right.
tell themselves that they're doing it for their immediate family, whether it's true or not is the question. How much money do you need, right? But hey, it's definitely a sacrifice to some degree.
Okay.
If you're
So
human and you got a heart, you know.
okay, so let me ask this. I'm trying to get everything in because I this is going to be another hour show, guys. Sorry, this has been a really busy week for me. So, Chill, what do you say about what Shelby says, or anybody to what Shelby says? She says you can be poor and still work the system to look like you're rich.
Oh shit, the people do that. You see that every day. Hell, you gonna see somebody do that every day. The PP loans
Okay.
is real. You understand me? PP,
See,
that's PP loan. Everybody's balling off of
see.
them.
Sorry,
Balling. You
I
know,
think that's people who I'm sorry,
when a
people that do not that do that. That's just one of the worst things
thousand
that you can
listen to me, when
possibly do.
$1,000 come in for food stamps solid, and I go to get steak and shrimp, and we eating good at the barbecue playing spades, and you have that's hey, that's balling on a budget. Hey,
Yeah, but
that's how it is.
you keep taking out those loans. How much are you paying in interest when you pay that stuff
I
back?
don't care. They ain't got no good credit no way. They gonna have to find me, right? Shit.
Oh, Poop, I have the car that I drive. I love my
I mean, that's
car,
how you work. I mean, ain't a bad thing though, because
and
rich people do it too. Donald Trump been doing it for years
no, and no,
on a different scale, so it
and no,
don't make a big difference
and I
doing
understand
it.
that. I'm just saying that I let's see. Stinger says Jay Z got a loan during COVID, and it was
So
for forgiven. So did Tom Brady. Okay, so
you,
all right,
yeah.
all right. Welcome Cynthia and Living Testimony. Your official welcome. Okay, they are both part of the establishment. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. There are a lot of people who have knowledge that don't necessarily
No
have
damn power.
power.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
I mean,
Knowledge is knowledge.
I have knowledge. I don't have power. Let's see. The goal would be rich, not look rich. Yeah, the goal is rich and not look
I'm with
rich.
that too. I'm with that
Um,
too. I'm always good. I'm always good with that. Being comfortable and looking like I'm broke. Like I'll tell a person in a minute I ain't got no money. No matter what, I ain't got nothing.
so when people say they don't have any money, is that money on you or like you know?
It could be on me, out of me, in my bank account. I'll give a damn.
Okay, all
Listen,
right.
I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. It's gonna be a straight bold faced lie. I can have a wide, pull out a damn wad full of money out of my wallet, $400 in my wallet. I'm broke. That they ain't gonna long as they can't see it. They don't know. I'm not just because I'm just not giving up. Depending on who it is. Like I sometimes give money out to people who I feel like will help themselves, or what I mean.
So
That's just
then,
feel like I
okay,
need it,
all
but
right,
for whatever reason. But mostly, I'm keeping my damn money on me, and I can look broke, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay
okay.
with like having some regular ass clothes or regular ass car, but I'm comfortable paying bills and living where I'm okay with that. That's smart to me.
So what is a regular ass car?
I don't. That's a good question. Like I'm uh, say like for instance, for a long time, I don't drive one now. For a long time, I drove with a Toyota Corolla for a long time, and it was fine. I had no note on it, but that's why I had. That was one of the good reasons why I had about $400-500 extra in my bank account a month, right, to save and invest, right. So you do that, and then that money is working for itself, right? And then you get money from that. So those sacrifices are okay with me. And people who don't see that, it's a problem with them. And them the people I don't want to be around. Because if you can't see those simple things, and that's always the problem for me. Like when I walk around and I see how people make quick judgments that are not really that aren't smart, I just like they do me a favor. I don't want them like I mean I love people in general, but they do me a favor. I would never probably they're, they're not they're not
Just
they're
like
not pretty
making,
astute.
just
Astute.
like going to get that payday loan. That's not very smart.
Oh, I ain't going to get no payday loan. Hell no. But I mean, I'm just saying
you
it
know,
happened. It definitely
that's
happens though.
I mean, yeah, and I understand that people have. I understand that people have to do it, but again, how much interest are you paying
I
on
mean,
stuff
I
like
don't know.
that?
I did go get a
So
payday loan before, but we did have like a skating party. I listen. I payday loan. I had a skating party. And I made a couple.
you had a skating party. I love roller skating.
So yeah, so we threw a party for skating. We just need some money. So how we can generate some money and not really break the bank? So I mean, so
Yeah,
we
but
all
you
went got payday loans and then but we made money. So you can make it make sense. You can make
I
things
mean,
work.
you can, yeah, you can make things work, but hold on, hold that thought because I do want to go back to the Confucius quote. I want to ask you guys the last part of it. In a country badly governed, in a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. Do you think that is true?
Man, that's a good ass question. Ashamed of?
And I'm going to put the
Maybe,
full
but
quote
I
in
don't know.
here
Do they give a
again.
fuck? I think the people who would be wealthy give a damn. Nah, they don't. They don't get ashamed. They don't get ashamed pretty much of nothing. I mean, maybe from other countries it can be ashamed. I don't know.
So
I
if
don't
you
know.
look
That's a
at
good question.
somebody, okay, so you look at someone like a Melda Marcos, and some of you guys maybe probably don't know who she is, but you look at someone like Imelda Marcos who literally um uh had thousands upon thousands pairs of shoes and was living this lavish lifestyle. Meanwhile, you go outside the gates of her home and her country was just poor, just
Well,
nothing.
what's what? All right. So you're
So
right.
is
So that's
that
why I
something to be
asked.
ashamed of?
I don't know.
So
Like I don't know. Is money is the litmus for life? Like if you gauge that, yeah. But if it's not, like to that's how you just see it. She might can walk outside and see poor or like maybe conditions maybe or something. But in a lot of ways, those people have themselves. They have love. That they if they're not starving to death, or obviously if you're starving to death, that's always bad. Disease ridden or something like that. Yeah, that's a shameful. But if it's just they're just living a nominal life, I don't know necessarily that
okay, all right.
that'll make me ashamed because you got everything you need. You got food, water, and plus I might have more than in a lot of ways more than she has. While she living up in her damn
But again, it
mansion.
said in a country badly governed. So chill. Let me come back to you
Mm.
and let me go to Poop. Hey Poop. Hey
Hey,
hey
how are you?
hey.
Poop, what
I
up?
am good. I am good.
Hey, how are you, Chill? Hey, I'm shocked to hear you invoke the Imelda Marcos thing, and I was going to make a comment. I was actually at a state dinner with her and Ferdinand in 1982 in Washington, D.C., and she had an entire staff that only managed her shoes. When they arrived, she had a van that followed their private entourage, and they each took out boxes of shoes to take them into the hotel.
I mean, I'm just saying. So then you look at her country, which was just a total
Sure,
wreck. So that's why I
sure.
say is wealth something to be ashamed of? I mean, when you look at something like that, is wealth something to be ashamed of? When you're when you are the government. So Bob, you're still here. I am talking about the government. You have all of this, and she doted on her damn shoes. Everybody knows how Imelda Marcus and those damn shoes. But to have an entire staff, and I bet you that staff, some of them probably went to bed hungry.
Oh, I'm sure. It's just no, you shouldn't be ashamed of what you've earned. But if you take advantage of others to get it, then your time's coming. That's just the way I see it.
And this is what I'm saying, in terms of, I understand that people want to get ahead, whatever, but do you have to take advantage of people in order to do it?
Most people do because they think that's the right way.
That's what is the easiest
Instead
for
of
sure.
instead of
That's the easiest
instead
for
of
sure.
empowering others and take everybody with you, that's typically the mentality nowadays. As unfortunate as that is.
Well, that's just like when they said, back in the 80s, the trickle down theory, that trickle down wasn't going to trickle down nowhere.
But that's crazy, Pook. You said that because really quick. Like I don't know if you know Dame Dash. Who Dame Dash is? Rockefeller was the big music kind of like mogul corporation. It was run by Dave Dash, uh, Jason Biggs, and Jay Z. So
Okay.
Dame Dash, he's all on like these little reels, Instagram reels, says that a lot. He's like, the way I vision Rockefeller now, I don't like Jay Z because he kind of snaked me for my Rockefeller company. He's mad about it, and he told why. He said because I envisioned everybody that was in our circle would be bosses. Like I was preparing everybody to take that step. And what he didn't care about is that he just wanted to take it and run away for itself. And that's crazy that you said that. And that's how people get to the top. And so that's kind of like that's why he says to this day how he doesn't like Jay Z because of the way he went about business. So that speaks to that.
Yeah, but do you really think he cares?
No, no, I will. I mean,
Honestly.
to some degree, I think he does. But at the end of the day, not if you can, not if you can turn around and say, I can help you, I can help you now, I can help you now, I can help you the way I want to.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. You're probably
So,
right.
so guys, let me ask you this: do you think that rich people? I said this on another show. I think I can't keep my show straight sometimes. Um, do you think that rich people have an obligation to donate or help someone who is less than them? When I say less than them, I'm talking about that they have they don't have as much that they can't eat or whatever. Do you think that they're obligated to? Hello, Vinny. Welcome.
I don't.
Okay. Okay.
That's crazy. You said it. That's a good ass question. I think morally, as people, we do to some degree, but
Can I,
actually, we
can I
don't.
interrupt you for a moment? Bob, I have criticized the government many times. It's just that I just don't go deep dive in the way you you want me to criticize the government. But the government sucks, and I have said that many times. So don't even go there, bro. So go ahead, chill.
I guess at the end of the day, I mean, they don't, but there's consequences to it. So if you don't take care of people around you, they end up taking care of your ass one way or the other. So it's you can get to the top, but can you stay there? And how you stay there matters. And then at that point, any empire that empires do fall, and they come crashing typically, and in the
Okay.
worst kind of fashions. So yeah.
Okay. So when you say something like that, you have to have the willpower that Bezos and who was it, the Apple guy? What was his name?
Oh,
Um,
talking about you made me iPad.
okay. Anyway, Apple
Yeah,
guy.
Steve Jobs.
yeah.
Steve Jobs. Okay, so so are you saying that if you're not like that, then that you don't have the willpower to want to lift yourself up? Or is it just the fact that it's not even having the willpower to lift yourself up? Is it the fact that I just don't want to screw anybody over to get to that level because it's not necessary? I don't need to screw someone over just so I can have this, just so I can say that, instead of having three houses, I have four. Is that
Well,
necessary?
to speak to that is that you're not gonna get to that level without being conniving or overlooking some conniving shit. One way or the other, there's gonna be, you can't get that big without doing it. It's
I
just a
disagree with
process.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Not to Jeff Bezos. Oh hell no. The shit that goes on Amazon that he probably knows about or even doesn't knows about, some horrible shit happens. Now I'm not saying you can't become wealthy. I'm talking about Jeff Bezos. There's different levels between all right, I can be a millionaire, right? I get there nice, fine. But if you're like, you know, that's the Bill Gates and Warren Buffett's and those guys. They don't have not to say they didn't learn. They can't come back and be better, but man, I've never been a part of it. I mean, I've been around different types of groups. Like some shit that just comes come with the territory. I mean, but yeah,
Okay, all right. Bob says it's been focused. I'm assuming you're talking about the conversation around we the people, how we are being greedy, which is mind blowing. No, I disagree with that. You're talking about the conversation. Stinger says all empires crash from within. Steve Jobs. Even grading the level of poor we can all be. I mean, I think we all have the ability to be poor. I mean, anything can happen. You can blink and you can lose everything tomorrow. I mean, I've had things and I've had it taken away where it's like, well, damn, I don't have shit, whatever. And you have to work, to get back, what you had, and you're still working for it. So um Bob, you were just hating on me so much tonight, but that's cool, because that's when I do the whatever. Okay, I was a landlord, I was very fair with my tenants, and got screwed over. I was a landlord, and I was very fair with my tenants. I never said that I got screwed over by. I forgot, you were a landlord and you were very fair with your tenants, and got screwed over. And again, it does depend upon the tenants you have. I mean, granted, when you have tenants, it's like hit or miss. Either you're going to get a good one, or you're going to get one that is going to screw you over. And there are some tenants out there that are like, seriously, and in California, you really have to be careful, because if you live somewhere more than 30 days, even if you invite someone over to your house and say your friend is coming to stay with you for 2 weeks, and they end up staying 30 days, when they hit that 30-day mark, and you say, okay, Sue, so when are you leaving? And she says, well, I'm not leaving. She is literally considered living in that place. And then you got to take her to court and do all this other stuff. So I totally get that tenants will totally screw you over. Absolutely. Some landlords do have risk, but there are some landlords that are not good landlords. There are some landlords that they need to fix something, whatever, but they don't do it. There are some landlords that do take advantage, and they charge too much rent. They don't fix things the way they should. So there's fault on both sides. So I am going to, I have more, but I really got to end the show, guys. But so Chill, Poop, any one of you guys want to go first and making your last comment? Okay.
You were
And
mentioning.
then wait, hold on, because
sorry.
I have to say again, Boss says I'm just shocked on how this episode is focused on the minions. I don't think it's necessarily focused on the minions, but I just think that with your conspiracy thing, you and Bob wants to come up, he can come up, but I just think that you have this thing with the government, whatever. So no matter what anyone says, it's always going to be the government, the government. So Stinger, you have a great day also. So, I'm sorry, Poop, go ahead.
There's sheeps on both sides of that fence, aren't they?
There are.
So you mentioned that you could lose everything today, but how it defines your character is how you rise up out of those ashes and do it again.
That's true.
Right? Or do you continue down this path where you consider yourself a victim?
Okay.
Or do you just put that away in a box and then just say, you know what? Nope, never again. And
so do you think it's possible then, Poop, do you think it's possible to lose everything, and no matter how hard you work, that you'll get it back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it is. Because you learn from the mistakes that you made, right?
Okay. All right, Chill. Are you there, Chill? Okay, so Jill must have gotten a phone call. All right, guys. So that is all I have. Okay, go ahead. Wait, hold on, Chill, before you, because I'm going to give Chill the last word, because now Bob wants to come up, since I've said his whole government thing. So hold on, Bob. I missed it. I'm sending it back. Okay.
Hi.
Bob?
You hear me?
Yes. Welcome.
Yeah. No, I'm just going up to because I know sometimes in the comment section it seems as if I'm more angry than I am, but I'm not.
No, I don't think you are angry. I don't think you're angry at all. I just know how you are with the whole government thing.
Yeah. But my main point is that we've sat here and spoke, well, you guys have sat and we're all in the comments and spoke about how we the people can take advantage of each other. And I just think that's a horrible outlook to do when literally you don't know. Like, this is why I often think, because you're one for saying you don't know people's circumstances and things. So if someone needs to charge £3,500 for rent, you don't know that that's the amount that they maybe need to make. And that you're pointing these things out, that we the people are playing the game, playing the system, yet you're ignoring, or seem to be ignoring, I'm not saying that you are, but this conversation definitely has ignored the system that the government have set in place that screws us all over on the daily. And I just think it's been a misguided, conversation. I think, I think basically everyone knows that I'm a conspiracy theorist and I always attack the government. But on this conversation, there is no conspiracy. We all know the way the game is set out, that the wages are driven down by immigration, by loads of factors, and that we are all screwed over on the daily. Meanwhile, your elite class, the governments, the corporations and all that, they're screwing us over. So I don't know why the whole conversation is being centered around people, maybe charging a little bit more extra so that they can maybe, go out for an extra meal a week or go on an extra holiday. That's nothing. That is nothing.
Okay. So then, Bob, let me ask this. So, and again, I'm just asking this. Let's say that last year, um, you were charging $1,000 a month for rent. Okay. This year, because prices have gone up and whatever, and you see that, and your mortgage, say you're still paying a mortgage on that house or on that building, whatever, you're still paying a mortgage. Your mortgage is still the same. You are still paying. Let's say your mortgage is $700 a month, and you're charging an extra $300 so you can make a little bit of profit. Okay, so you were charging $1,000 a month. So this year, your mortgage is still the same. You are still paying. You are still paying that much. But you said, okay, I'm looking at what everybody else is doing around me. I'm going to charge, my tenants $2,000 a month. You don't think that that's kind of price gouging?
No. Do you know why? It maybe is, but do you know something? They'll go to the sharks if no one wants to pay that. They won't pay it. And the other point that I wanted to make is, so let's say someone in my family passed away and left me enough money to buy a second home, and I rented that out, and I was mortgage free on that home, so I had no payments.
Mm-hmm.
Would you expect me to maybe charge only $100 because literally I'm not paying anything for it? Or do you
No,
think if I
no,
was to look at the street prices and see what the average cost of houses in that street is and charge that amount, am I greedy for that? Because
no,
this
I
is the
mean,
whole problem with society. We're looking at people who have done well for themselves and calling them greedy, when these people are probably hard, well-driven, like career-driven people that have done well in their lives, and now people are moaning about that. They're saying, well, these people shouldn't be allowed to make. And as much as I can't stand your Elon Musk's and your Jeff Bezos's, they've done what they've done and they've got there. And I don't think the answer is to take money off the rich to give to the poor. I think it's basically, mess the whole system up, start again. But we seem to be focusing on us, the minions, what we are doing wrong.
well, first of all, I never said take money from the rich and give to the poor. I just asked the question: should people who are rich have to pay for whatever? That was just a question that I asked. And in terms of if you had a place that was rent free or mortgage free, and you didn't have to pay anything, yes, I would expect you to charge what the market price was. But if it's clear that the market price is price gouging, that's where I'm like, come on, because
I
I
mean,
don't
but to be
know.
fair, you did ask about the rich and what they should do. I mean, that's not necessarily concentrating on the millions. That's a simple question. It may not necessarily be a whole conversation about it. It might have been a quick answer, but should the rich care about the poor or take care of the
And
poor?
I did ask,
I mean,
and and
that's
and and
addressing that to
earlier,
some
I mean,
degree.
when I first started the show, I mean, I was asking about the rich, whatever, but um, they're, so this is just the way the conversation went. But I'm not trying to, hate on rich people. I'm not trying to give a pass to the government. I'm not trying to say, the minions are the best people, whatever. I was just, again, I'm just having a conversation. So,
Oh
Bob,
yeah, I was just coming up to to kind of
I
make
know,
everyone
I know,
realize I'm
I
not.
know, I know, and
Yeah.
but again,
So some of these, do you know something? I bet a good conversation would have been. I would have been interested to find out about all these taxes, like some of the taxes that we don't even know about that everyone can just agree are just absolutely horseshit, like death taxes, inheritance taxes, all
and
these kind
and
of
and, and, and you
things
know
that.
what, Bob, and that is, and honestly, when I say I literally have over 200 topics, I have a lot of topics, and that is one of my
Yeah,
topics. But this one right
yeah,
here, the Confucius one, this is, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at something and this popped up, and I just thought that it was fascinating. I read a little bit more into it. I said, I'm going to do this show.
yeah,
But Brina even said, this is a topic with a lot of other mini topics.
yeah,
And this topic did have a lot of ways that we could branch off and talk about this. We can talk about
yeah,
this, whatever. And that's
hmm
what this did. So,
yeah.
so
Anyway,
why wasn't
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna way back to work. So thank you for letting me
okay,
come on.
Bob. All right.
Thanks, Larry. Catch you later, guys.
Okay. Michael, welcome. Is Michael there?
It's on by big dog.
Okay. Okay, Michael, are you here? Okay, so I don't know what's going on with Michael. So, guys, again, Poop, did you want to say something? Because I have got to
Type yes.
got to end this show. So, for sure, there are many topics from today's topic. Yes, there are. So, Poop, go ahead.
I think one of the things that we tend to forget the most is we're always looking to blame somebody for something, right? And we never really want to admit or acknowledge the fact that we need to be looking in the mirror and asking ourselves every day, am I doing the right thing, or did I do something good or positive today, right? And I think that comes back to that comment I made about being a victim. And we can sit here all day long and try to spin everything every possible way, twist and turn. One of the things that enrages me the most is when uh, some people start to talk about immigration and how they're draining the systems and those kind of things. Because if they could understand or at least make an attempt to educate themselves on what's really going on, I think that their eyes would be opened and they would be a lot more accepting of what's really happening. And I know where you live and where I live are two different states, but they're very similar in a lot of ways. And when we look at trying to break down um, status or wealth and this and that, everybody admires this one or that one because of this or that. Why? How does that redefine you as a person? It doesn't. So they don't realize that they're getting trained to accommodate the differences. That's one of the biggest things that I have issues with.
And you make a very good point. You make a very good point. Michael, are you there? Okay, Michael, I cannot hear you. Can anyone else hear Michael? Is he? Because I Okay, so Michael, you might want to come out and come back in, but I am going to be ending the show. So if you want to talk, go out and come back in really fast. Okay, issues with your mic. Okay, so you may want to go out and come back in. Okay, chill.
Yeah. All right. Good show. Absolutely, everybody. Nice to see your smiling faces. See and hear your smiling faces. I
You need
I
to
do
give me
think.
$5.
Uh, well, let me wait till next week till I can borrow from somebody else, and then I get yeah, I get it to you then. Um, so I think value system is a big thing for me. Like this is kind of goes into different perspectives of what rich and poor is. I don't think every rich person is a horrible person, or eh, vice versa. Working hard, getting yourself to. Typically, if you work hard, you're gonna reap what you sow. And so the way you go about it is important. But some people are the people, and then I'm not obligated to necessarily care about the other next man. I just need to get my business done, and that don't necessarily make me a bad person either. Um, I just think that, and also taking advantage of like loopholes, whether it is you mentioned taxes, like rich people they take advantage of that too. There's out there's rules, whether they're moral or not, or you think it's fair or not. Life is unfair. So for me to be smart and take advantage of that may not necessarily be me being immoral. It may just me be taking advantage of that. I don't think necessarily as a person, as a rich person, I'm being immoral. I'm just taking advantage of the rules that are out there, right? And so they may take exception to that in itself. So it's all about perspective, and overall, I think for the most part, if you want to go out there, work hard, and get some money, that's what you need to do. Because all of them, typically it still comes. You got to raise your sleeves up, get out there and work your ass off to get whatever you need, wherever you got to go. So
Okay. All right. All right. So did Michael come back? No. Okay. So guys, I have to carry a sign, Poop, in order for me to make $10. I gotta carry a sign. Oh
Yes,
man.
ma'am.
Oh man.
somebody cash at me $5 so I can loan her $5.
So is it gonna be a cardboard sign? Or is it gonna be one of those sandwich signs at the one of the sandwich ones where I gotta put over my head and you can see the sign from both sides?
Whichever one you feel better about.
I think it's a sign that it's the cardboard sign is the one that like I got like, man, in the last year and a half, they've popped up on like every major exit in Cleveland. It's ridiculous. So it's got to be a thing now. It's got to be a thing that they're making money off of this because they're not even dressing like they're poor anymore. They just like come in their regular clothes that they got off work, or they just going to work or something. I'm like, this motherfucker got on creased khakis and a collared shirt. What the fuck is going on? Like, I'm confused. I don't even know this. Should I be giving this guy money or not? Or are you looking for a job interview?
Well, I don't want to have to carry a sign, so but anyway. All right, everybody, that is it. I have gone 22 minutes over where I should have, but I have not posted a show for tomorrow. I am going to post a show, but I want to do a fun show, and I've literally been going through all of my topics trying to figure out what can be a lighthearted, fun, haha show. So, real quick, does anybody have something funny or anything that you guys want me to do tomorrow? Because I will do it. If not, I got to look through what I have. So, anybody want to give me any topics and any show that you guys would want me to do? Anybody? Okay, I will go through my I will go through my list
What
of
what
topics.
what's the best? What is the thing that you do
Hey
to
Ellie.
wind down? To wind down, like what is the thing that you do to wind down in a day? Like when you're going
That's
through a
a
rough
okay.
day,
All right. That's a good
what is
topic. I mean,
everybody's thing that they would do to kind of like relax or
okay.
or turn up?
All
Whatever.
right.
That's it.
Then that will be the topic. I just want something lighthearted because I know we go through heavy issues and stuff, and we talk about this and talk about that and what have you. So I will do that topic. So Sheila, would you like to co-host with me tomorrow?
I'll try my best because I know I got a lot going on. But I can come in
Oh, so you're gonna come up
definitely.
and you're
I'll
gonna
try
you
to.
you gonna suggest it, but then
I mean, you
okay, yeah.
asked me. I didn't suggest.
hmm
You asked in your
I
question.
know, but I'm just
I'm
saying.
just saying. I'm just saying. So
Thank you, Poop. Thank you so much.
you could have said thank you though, but it's all right. It's all right. Don't
I
worry, y'all. Don't worry, y'all. I ain't no victim, y'all. Listen, I ain't no damn victim, y'all.
I did say that was a good topic. I didn't say thank you, but I did say okay, yeah, that's good. And Bob, of course, is laughing. So maybe you want to come on and co-host. See, watch me turn around and totally change the topic tomorrow. But all right, so on that note, guys, I'm gonna say go where the wind takes you. Enjoy the rest of your show. He says, y'all too funny. No, he's funny. Okay, he's funny, and I don't necessarily mean ha ha. Oh
Here we
boy.
go.
Actually,
I don't know what happened, but she went mute real quick. Now it's her mic. Go where the wind take you, y'all, because we can't hear her. The wind gonna have to take us home, because the Silent Blue already gone. She done left the building. Ooh, we can't hear you. Whatever you saying, if you saying something, we can definitely not hear you. Maybe she got a phone call though. That's highly possible. See how God work? Y'all see how God work? She still ain't cut it off. I don't know what to do. Oh, your mic. See, like I said, see how God work? I hope she can hear me saying everything to her. The wind that took her, y'all. The wind that took her where she wanted to go. That sounds like a church song too. The wind, the wind take me where I want to go. Mm-hmm. I'm co-hosting tomorrow, y'all. Right, I'm co-hosting now. Right, here go music. I just cue the music on my ass. We live on YouTube, y'all. On Twitter.